Hey folks, here at OS Reviews. You're watching our video first look and impressions tour of the Sades SA-928. These are a pair of stereo headphones that are used for gaming purposes and includes two versions, one which relies and uses a USB-based port, so you can plug it into a computer or maybe even a gaming console that has that full-size USB ports, but there's also a separate version that uses a 3.5mm jack, so it can also be used with, let's say, an MP3 player or a smartphone as just a traditional pair of headsets. Obviously, since the gaming part is the emphasis here, it is quite noise isolating and has some cool glowing effects when the device is turned on and plugged into power. And there's also the important microphone for communication, so if you are talking to someone when you're gaming, that part is also quite crucial and of course found in here, just like other Sades headsets that we've seen in the past. Taking a quick look at the design first, it comes in a few color iterations. This one is just a lime green model. And what really impressed me about this on first impressions was the build quality. Instead of being made out of cheap plastic or chrome accents like I thought it would be, it's actually made out of aluminum and metal parts. So these are actually real metal. They are very cold to the touch. There are, of course, a few plastic accents, including the arms and the sides, but for the center pieces, they are kind of made out of metal, so they're a bit heftier than I thought as well. Otherwise, the backplate here does illuminate green during when it's plugged into power, which is pretty cool. And this is the arm for the microphone, which is extremely flexible and picks up sound fairly well. It's noise isolating, so as long as you're in a relatively quiet environment, it will work. Also works for Skype as well as video calls if you want to use that for that application. Otherwise, they are over-the-ear style headphones, which are extremely noise isolating, and they have a nice amount of detail, including the insides of the ear cushions are also the same color as the outsides, and they are quite comfortable as well, just because of the added cushions on the very top of the headsets, which can be extended on, so that makes sure everything stays in place and is also comfortable. The top also has the company's logo, Sades, embedded onto it. It's a fake leather material. As far as the actual performance of these headphones go, bass is very apparent on these. They do get quite loud at lower frequencies. They have a punch in terms of the sound there, but they're not the cleanest or the most crisp sounding headsets in the world, which is to be expected. Again, they're not competing to be audiophile grade headphones, really just meant to be clean as well as loud enough to be used for voice communication and maybe some music in the background if you are gaming. So you can see here the version I have is actually just a standard 3.5mm jack. It's a gold-plated connection, even though the cable itself isn't a flat ribbon wire, and as a consequence, it does tangle up a bit more easily. With that being said, it works well enough, and the cable length is a standard 1.2 meters long, which is fairly average. Otherwise, I like the flexibility of the microphone, which can be easily adjusted to get a proper distance from your mouth when you are recording or speaking to someone else. So all in all, the audio quality here is pretty good. The build quality here is really the thing that impressed me, because it is a update and a upgrade compared to other Sades headsets I've tested in the past, which relied on completely 100% plastic, whereas this one seems to be a bit more fancy and elegant looking. There's also a cord that you can swap out to extend the length, as well as add another port for the microphone. So you want to split these into two, one for the sound, one for the microphone. That is possible if you have, let's say, an older computer that relies on separate ports for that. You can check out more details about these headsets in our official written review, which is coming out soon. But for now, this has been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. This is the Sades SA-928 gaming headset.